Hi everybody, welcome back to my little YouTube channel. You'll notice I'm filming in the kitchen and it's quite echoey, so hopefully today's purchase is going to stop that happening, because I'll show you what I've ordered. It's from Amazon, and this is what I've ordered. I'll put the price on the screen because I can't remember what it was. I'll put the price here probably. So what I've ordered is one of these Amazon microphone kits. It's a wireless lavalier microphone. Is it lavalier? I think that's how you pronounce it. I'll tell you what it says on the box. It's a typical Amazon type packaging. It gives you all of these features and benefits, such as live show. There you go, that's typical Amazon packaging. Live show, interview, vlog, short video. Not sure that means a lot. So I'm going to open this up, show you what it is. I'm going to pop them on charge because I'd imagine they'll be flat. Then I'll do a few little tests on them. Now, I have bought a few microphone kits before and done videos on this very YouTube channel, but this is the first wireless one. The first one I bought was the Rode microphone that you plug directly into your iPhone, which didn't turn out to be very good. And I bought a couple of cheap lavalier, if that's the right word, corded microphones. I've done videos on those, and also a small shotgun microphone, which I've done a video on as well. So this is what it looks like in the kit. The branding of it, there's about dozens and dozens of Amazon listings for them, all from, they're around about £20-30-ish, but they're all exactly the same, but with just different branding on them. So this is the one I've bought. So you get two of these little microphones. Well, they do feel quite cheap. Somebody did a review on them the other day. They said they were a bit chatty. I think you can get them with a logo printed on there. So these little ends come off. Not sure if these will stop the wind. It isn't actually wind muff, I don't think, but you know, for what the cost, I think they're quite all right. So there's two of those. I'm going to do a test on what happens when you've got two, whether it's left and right stereo, or whether it works stereo, or what actually the crack is with them. There's the other one. Doing this like you haven't just seen 1-2 seconds before. And this is a transmitter, and this plugs directly into an iPhone. You can get one with USB-C for any other kinds of devices that you might use, but I've got an iPhone. So this is the thing I use. So I'm not sure how much for it you have to charge. I think you must have to charge all 3 bits. I'll look at the instructions. And also, instructions, they always come with like a little box like this, just to pad it out, I think. And this will have a microphone, not a microphone, it'll have a cable in it to charge it. So this cable is microphone. Get me words out, Forrest. This is a USB-C. It's that one there, and just a USB. Is that USB-A? Is that what that's called? So I'm going to look at the instructions, charge them up, and come back and see what the crack is. I'm back sooner than later. I haven't charged them up, but I've just plugged the transmitter into the phone. So in the phone, I've plugged the transmitter in there, which is the end of the phone. And to turn the microphones on, I think you just do this. And it lights up. So I'm speaking I'm right next to the phone. I'm doing this with my hand, like you can see. I'm right next to the phone at the minute, but I'm bringing the microphone up to my mouth to see whether it sounds any different. So I'm going to start doing the tests now. Right, I'm going to start testing. I'm in the echoey kitchen, so I'm going to do a few steps back to see if it gets any quieter. This is just the camera on the phone, so it should be quite quiet. My kitchen seems longer when I'm walking backwards, so I don't know how quiet it is, whether you can hear us or not. So I'm going to walk back to the camera so you can see the same volume, what the volume is with just the iPhone's built-in microphone. So I'm now using this little microphone, so I'm going to walk back. It should be the same volume backwards and forwards because I'm using this one, although because I haven't looked in the instructions, I don't know if I have to press another button. I'll just turn it on from here. So now I'm walking back to the camera, the same volume, to see what the new microphone quality is like. Well, I must say I'm quite impressed with it. It did work. All I've done so far is I'll just demonstrate on this. So the transmitter looks like this, but it's plugged into the end of the phone. You don't have to do anything with that. There doesn't seem to be any buttons. All you need to do is turn the microphone on, and that's it working. If I do call the microphone the camera, I'm just getting new words mixed up. So I'm going to have a little shufty. You have to be careful, because if you do this, you get all sorts of noises. So I'm just moving around to see whether it makes it go distorted or anything, or whether it's quite good quality. I'm just talking to myself here as you do. So I'll watch this footage back so I know what it's like myself, and I'll be back in a minute. I'm back as promised. As long as you don't bounce it around, because I think the actual thing rattles. So listen to this. It rattles a little bit. So as long as you're not bouncing around, and as long as you've got it somewhere quite sturdy, I think it's quite a good little microphone. And as I say, the price, as I told you before, was pretty cheap, so I'm quite impressed with it. you'd only get one cable with it. So if you want to charge these, you have to do one at a time. I'll have a look on the instructions and see how long it takes, and also the transmitter charges. But you can also charge, I'll tell you what, no, I'm not going to. I was going to say I'm going to unplug the transmitter. So you can charge the phone via the transmitter. So that's only one charge, but these are quite good quality. Actually, I'm going to do a wind test now to see what that's like, to see if these do anything whatsoever. To simulate wind, I'm going to use this fan, and I'm going to use a fan blown in my face to see whether it makes any difference with just these little doobies on them, these little things on them, rather than a wind muff. The next test. Well, I did do a test there, but I forgot to press record, so I'm going to do it again. But this will be better because it's the second one. So I'll turn the fan up full blast. So I'm going to put the microphone in front of it with a little foamy muff thing on the front. I must remember not to wiggle my fingers on the microphone because that will make a noise. So here's test number 1. I'm going to take the end off. End back on. And the end off once more. End of test. Right, yeah, I'm going to do that test again, but instead of holding it this way to the fan, that way, I'm going to hold it that way. So test again. So I'm recording now, just need the fan on. Fan's on full, so this is with the muff on. Muff off. Muff on. And the final one without the muff on. I think it's fair to say that these little end pieces don't stop the wind, and that isn't what they're not wind muffs, as I've said before. I have got a name for them, and I should really know, and if I find it out, I'll pop it under here on the screen somewhere if I do find it out. I'm going to have a look at the instructions now and doing a couple more tests. I want to get the other one and see what happens if you have two working at the same time. Okay, I've got my headphones in as well, so I know what I'm listening to. So I've got 2 of these. If I talk together, do they just come out stereo? How does it work? Does it mean you can only use one at a time? Could you have one on you and one on a guest? I assume that's what they're for, but I'm not sure whether you need to set them up or not. So I'm not sure what this test's actually doing for me, but I'm going to have a little play around with them. I'm going to listen back to that footage and see whether, how can I do this? Whether it works. This is the left one, is that the right one? That's the right one. And that's the left one, whether they just come out stereo or whether they do actually just do one channel or another. Testing, 1, 2, 3. That was quite interesting. What these are for and what the purpose of having 2 is so you can wear one and a guest can have one. Like if you're interviewing somebody and there's no fiddling around with any settings or anything on it, both record, I don't know the technical terms, but it just comes as like a stereo. I think it's stereo, but they're in both ears, but whether it's actually stereo or doing anything differently, it does come like that, so you don't have to set different channels and have one left, one right, so it's quite easy to set up. In fact, there's no setup at all, you just put them on. Got my headphones in so I could hear it properly. So if you do want to do an interview with somebody or you with your friends or something, you could wear one, your friend could wear the other one, and everything's on one channel on the phone, so that's quite a good test. As I said before, I'm going to get the instructions now to see if there's any other things you can do with them, like tweak them and things like that, and see if there's any other functions, and then I'll give you my final thoughts at the end. Right, I'm just having a fiddle with the instructions now. I've got them here. Look at me, I'm so professional. It does say on the transmitter it should light up red, but it doesn't. I don't know if that's a fault or whether it's duff information on the instructions or if I'm reading it wrongly. Step 1, connect the receiver or phone. Press switch on microphone, which is the one I've done, the little switch on the back. The indicator red light receiver keeps always on. Then open the phone camera. Right, that doesn't seem to work. Special note. Ooh, special note. This sounds interesting. Special note: for the use of 8 port, there is no battery in receiver and no need to recharge. That's good. So the only things you have to charge are the 2 of these. Actually, I'll turn that other microphone off in case it plays havoc with anything. How do you turn it off? Press and hold that. I assume there we go. That one's turned off. So there's no charger or no charge required. If I'm I'm over there, what's the volume like if I move it over here? Does it change? Does it get a lot better? Is it a lot worse over there? I would imagine this is the best. Little test there for my own thing. So it's just telling you that you don't charge the receiver, but you can charge your phone via the socket in the side of the receiver, which is quite cool. So now this is the thing I was thinking about, because I have seen another video on similar ones and they've got different functions. So oh my gosh, my eyesight. Press the switch for 3 seconds to turn it on. Red and green flash. There's no red on it. Power on, press this. Hang on, I'm going to read this and I'll come back to you in a minute because this will be quite boring for you. I found another function, you can mute it. So when you press the button on that, I don't know where I'm looking here, you press the button on the microphone and it flashes. So I'm going to see if that works. So I'm pressing the button. Does it flash? Was that muted? Did you not hear anything? Next one is green light flashes, unmute. Reverberation. This is the one that I don't know what the point of it is. So if I double click it, the green light flashes green and red. So double click. There, it's flashing green and red. So now this should sound really distorted and sort of like you're in a big hall. I'm not sure what it means. If anybody knows why you have this on, can you please let me know? So it's on solid green. So now to turn reverberation off. Is that just normal again? Am I back to normal speaking? I'm going to check so I don't record the rest of the video in some funny format. I seem to have got the hang of these quite easily. The instruction writing is tiny and I can't read it. I would normally zoom in on my phone, but that's what I'm filming on. So I've got a single, what you've got to be careful, which I've done a load on this video, so I apologise. If you've got headphones on, mute them. If you do that, it makes an awful noise, so you've got to be careful that you don't tap them. I'll do this. It's quite annoying as well, like ASMR. The other options you can do, so you can mute it, have it normal, pair them, which is already done, do that reverberation thing. So say, if anyone knows what it's for, can you let me know, because I can't understand what it would mean. No connection, power on state, so it tells you if it's flat. The red and green lights come on every 10 seconds. I think that must mean if it's going flat. Charging with type C, the red light goes out when it's fully charged. So can't say any more than that. So I don't normally actually recommend things on any social media because it's up to anybody to buy them. I can just give my little thoughts on them. But for the price that I put on the screen before, which I think was £17-ish, these are absolutely fantastic. They probably will last 5 minutes. I'll lose one, but at least there's 2 in the box. So I'm just reading the box to see if there's anything interesting to tell you that isn't. But these things, for the price of them, give them a go. They're from Amazon. If they're rubbish, send them back. But to be honest, seem pretty good so far. So thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe. Look at my other channel. All my YouTube videos are on there. There's different playlists. I'm on Instagram as Disney Mark, TikTok Disney Mark. I'm also on what's the other one? Twitter, but Twitter's rubbish. Nobody wants Twitter. But these things, I would actually recommend them. I might, if I can get a screenshot, I'll put the listing on that I bought them from, because there are lots of them. There's lots of them with the same price as well. You can also get one that has a recharging case, but I didn't like, there was something about them I didn't like. I can't remember what it was, but for the price of these, totally recommended. So thanks for watching, everybody. Bye-bye for now.